Badan PBB untuk Pengungsi Palestina atau UNRWA mengecam tindakan Israel yang memasuki pusat pelatihan milik mereka di Qalandia, Yerusalem Timur. UNRWA menyebut operasi tersebut sebagai pelanggaran serius terhadap hak istimewa dan kekebalan Organisasi Perserikatan Bangsa-Bangsa.
The unauthorized entry into the compound by the Israeli Minister of National Security. We are monitoring the situation. As it seems now, Israeli forces still remain present on the premises. To be very clear, this is a UN facility. It enjoys privileges and immunities under international law. That means it's diplomatically protected. And what we're seeing is a very grave violation of the privileges and immunities of the United Nations. We have not received any official notification during the repeated unauthorized entries into the site. Again, this is a facility that has been operating for 70 years. It's in occupied East Jerusalem, where Israel under international law does not exercise jurisdiction, and it's diplomatically protected. First of all, I'm relieved that our staff that were temporarily detained were released. It was a traumatizing experience for them. This is a vocational training center for young Palestinian refugees from the West Bank. Every year, 340 male youth between 15 and 19 years receive high-quality technical and vocational training in the center. That means young men between 15 and 19 years studying to become carpenters, to become car mechanics, to become graphic designers. And what we saw today is not just a violation of the privileges and immunities of the United Nations, it is also a violation of the right of those young Palestinians in the West Bank of their right to receive quality education. And that is of course very concerning. Saying that UNRWA continues to operate in the West Bank. We have 90 schools at the moment with more than 48,000 students. We have more than 50 health facilities across the West Bank. Last year, we did 1.1 million health consultations. We provide social services relief to more than 270,000 people in the West Bank. This is something that the International Court of Justice has confirmed again in October last year. And just to say that until the full entry into force of the Israeli anti-UNRWA legislation, we had a very effective and useful relationship with the Israeli military in the West Bank as the occupying power. So any UN agency working in a context of military occupation needs to coordinate with the occupying authorities to be able to deliver aid and support. East Jerusalem is occupied territory. That's the position of the UN. And that's where we continue to deliver services there over the last year and a half, in line with our mandate of the General Assembly. The responsibility to provide services to any population living under occupation resides with the occupying power. And that includes either the direct provision of services to the population under occupation, or in fact allowing UN agencies and other humanitarian actors to provide those services. And that's exactly why we operate and how we have operated in the occupied West Bank, including East Jerusalem. And as part of that obligation, we have a clear mandate to deliver our service by the General Assembly. And it is upon the State of Israel as the occupying power to facilitate those services, including respecting the privileges and immunities of the UN. And that includes, of course, also the protection of our facilities. Well, first of all, we're monitoring the situation. Secondly, we need to make sure that our staff are safe. Thirdly, we call for unrestricted access of the United Nations and of UNRWA to our facility. And we call for clear international support to make sure that the privileges and immunities of the UN are respected and that UNRWA can continue its work. Very clearly, in UNRWA, there's no place for terrorists, there's no place for criminals. We take every allegation very seriously, and we depend on the support of member states to provide us with that information and these allegations so that we can act. We received 90 names that were investigated by the highest investigative body of the United Nations. In 9 cases, the findings was that had we been given access to corroborated information, the allegations could have been corroborated. And these staff members have been terminated from UNRWA services. They no longer work with the agency, and we take these allegations very seriously. We have 11,000 staff in the Gaza Strip, 4,600 in the West Bank. And any issue, any allegation, we need to have this information to be able to act in line with the due process and due procedures.
Jelajahi cara baru mendapatkan informasi. Download MetroTV Extend sekarang.